Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith. That's right, what you're seeing in front of you right now is the next game up for a giveaway. That's correct, it's going to be Fireteam Zero. We are currently in the middle of a really exciting showcase for this game, so if you know nothing about it, or even if you've been following along with the playthrough, you've got a chance to get this game absolutely free. I first off want to thank Emergent Games for this, and I'm really excited to be giving this away on the channel. As always, this is a humongous thank you from me to you for all the help in not only the showcase itself, but the support of the channel. You guys across the forums and different Facebook groups and all that kind of stuff have been phenomenal. And I just really love and truly enjoy seeing solo gaming basically being taken to another level, as well as the hobby being shared. Because really, at the end of the day, the biggest thing with this kind of stuff is just getting it out there for others to enjoy, because this solo community has a lot to offer, and I really enjoy being a part of it. So first off, I just want to thank everybody that currently is a subscriber to the channel. This is going to be a giveaway that's going to run from the second of this video starting until about 3 weeks roughly from now. So you'll see that when you enter the application. Now, if you've never been a part of a Rolling Solo giveaway in the past, I'll give you a little overview as to how it works. So essentially, there is an application that I'm using called Gleam, and that's going to allow you to basically, as a Rolling Solo subscriber, allow you an automatic entry with 5 entries into the giveaway. So it's the highest form of getting entries into the giveaway, the biggest chance of having you win the particular title in question, in this case, Fireteam Zero. However, there is going to be a list of other ways to enter in order to increase your odds of winning. So things like basically following me on Twitter, on Instagram, or checking out the Emergent Games page, things like that. There's a number of different ways that you can add entries to your particular giveaway in order to increase your chances of winning. So it's totally up to you, and you're not required to do any of that. Really the only requirement is that you are a subscriber of the channel. So very simplistic. I'm not going to ask you to, you don't have to do anything in terms of commenting on this particular video. Although if you want to give me feedback, that's fantastic, because I always like having a nice chat with you guys. But don't feel any pressure to comment on the video or to like anything outside third-party wise out of this video. This is going to be strictly just a giveaway for you guys to thank you. And really, at the end of the day, you just have to be a subscriber. It's as easy as that. So essentially, as soon as you're seeing this video, as of right now, you can head to that Gleam application. The link is in the description below. And from there, you can actually go ahead. And if you've already done this before, and this isn't new to you, then you essentially already have a leg up, and you'll be able to even quickly or more efficiently rip through your entries and get into the contest. So what is exactly included in Fireteam Zero? Well, first off, this is the core game that you're seeing in front of you. So this is going to give you a 1 to 4 player experience that's 14 plus, at least in terms of age, and it runs about an hour to 2 hours. If you don't know too much about it, like I said, check out my playthrough. You'll be able to find a little bit more about what goes on in the game. Now, in terms of what else is included in this giveaway, there's a little bit of a surprise. So I hope you haven't run away just yet to go put your entries in, because something else is being added special for this particular giveaway. That's right, and I hope you guys are excited for this. I'm adding in a package of Fireteam Zero stretch goals. So for those of you that know about the Kickstarter that currently ran for the second reprinting, or even the very first Kickstarter, there was a stretch goals box, which is fairly deep. It's about 2.5 inches or so, full of miniatures and game mechanics to add into the base game of Fireteam Zero, as well as not only giving you more nasty monsters to come after you, but also to enhance your side of the game in terms of the hero side, as well as some specialists and things like that. So what I'm going to do, if you are not familiar with what stretch goals are included in this, I thought I would just go over that quickly, because whoever ends up winning this giveaway will not only win the core game, but also this box of stretch goals. So that's super exciting. All right, so I'm going to move this thing over to the side. We're going to bring in the tray that would be inside of this box. I'm going to try to do this without spilling everything all over the place. It's fairly large. There's quite a bit of miniatures in here. And I really think this is going to be a nice addition, a nice leg up for those of you that are looking to basically beef up your campaign experience with Fireteam Zero. So what do we have here? We essentially have a whole bunch of miniatures, so I'll just quickly go over them for those of you that aren't familiar with them. I haven't actually implemented mine within my game just yet because we're still doing the showcase, but really what this is going to allow you to do is kind of mix and match as well as swap out enemies to tailor a game to your specific taste in terms of what types of enemies you want to fight. I believe the way that how the game works, if I remember correctly, is that you're able to essentially switch out groups of enemies that are ranked in a certain level. You can swap them one for one, that type of thing. So you'll be able to go through these, find monsters that you'd like to fight up against and swap them in and out, or just add them in to make the game even tougher. And so you can go either way with that, which I think is pretty cool. So what you're seeing in the middle here is something called an escalation pack. Now, Fireteam Zero has many, many packs of cards in their Kickstarter that you can add on. Some of them add to the solo play, some of them add missions, some of them add all kinds of different extras to the game. But this pack is a little bit special in that I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and again, you have to forgive me because I haven't actually used this in my current game, but my pack essentially here hasn't even been cracked. I haven't even merged this in. I'm just going to pour this out. Now, this is the English one. The underneath, I believe in the stretch goals pack, you also get one for a different language as well. So that's good. But I'm just going to focus on the English one for now. Let's see what we got here. So I think it's going to be a mix, and I'm actually kind of curious now. I'll show you what's in the pack so that there's no confusion at least. Let's see if I can do this. All right, I got them all out. There's just a couple more that I'm missing. This may actually help us go through this box here so you guys can better understand what you're getting. Okay, so you're going to get some twist cards. So it looks like, which is really cool, you're going to get not only just some miniatures in the box, but new twist cards. And I remember from our showcase that we're currently doing, Children of the Typhon, is the one that we're currently doing. So basically it's going to give you a deck of twist cards. I'm not sure how many per mission it's going to add in, but hey, extra twist cards mean more randomization to the setup when you're setting up your twist cards in game, meaning more chances for different things to happen in your games. So replayability basically skyrockets with these cards being added in. Of course, from what I understand, these would be all additions to the core game experience. So that's really cool. So we're going to go ahead, actually, I'm just going to break this open. I want to see how many of each twist card there are per mission, essentially, so we can actually get a rough idea. So if I just drop these right here, and we got one here, two, so two, it's adding two, and I think this may actually, I don't know if it's, maybe it adds more. Yeah, I can actually see down here, there's different numbers on the side here as well as letters, and it could actually be adding two. Oh no, there's another Children of the Typhon too. So it looks like there's going to be more than one. So that's really interesting, actually. So I'm not too sure. These twist cards may be standalone, or they may actually tie into a particular enemy as added in. So you're going to have to watch that. But in terms of content, this is awesome, being able to put that in. Now, the other thing you're going to get in this escalation pack is going to be a whole bunch of cards. So you're not going to be missing out on anything there. On the very bottom of this deck, there is a bunch of cards that reference some of the different things that you're going to see miniature-wise here. So for instance, Hercules, which is, it looks like a companion dog. So it's a new specialist, and it's going to give you a new ability. It says attacks on a minion or elite may bypass one resistance of any type, meaning because it's a dog, it's going straight for them. It's a melee attack. That's awesome. So now you can actually have this particular animal join you on your adventures, and you've got yourself a nice dog miniature as well for Hercules to come along with you. So that's pretty cool. It's always good to have more friends, because typically in these stretch goals, especially games like this, the stretch goals usually pile in the enemies quite heavily and don't give you too many allies, so it's nice to have a couple different people you can swap in and out. Another person that's going to add to your heroes, or specialists I should say, is this guy here, the Folklorist Minsk. And he is a lore specialist, and once per round, change a monster activation die result to blank. So that's pretty cool. That's going to be really useful, especially when those activation dies for the bigger and nastier monsters start really affecting your gameplay. So this guy's pretty cool. His miniature is right here. So you also, of course, get a miniature, as with majority of the stuff in the game, a card and a miniature. So there he is. Looks pretty good. He's got his nice cane there, and he's carrying, I don't know what he's carrying there. Oh, it looks like a tome of some type. He's got like a big text under his arm, so that's pretty cool. I actually like the look of this card and the look of this character Very, very cool. Okay, so that's that. Again, outside of that, there's a couple other small things I want to make mention of. Then we'll talk more about the rest of this deck of cards. Right here is an absolutely ridiculously massive first player token. So this thing is really, really cool. If you don't, I don't know if you're noticing this or not, but up in the very top, it has actually all the 4 core main heroes. So it's got Abe, it's got Dawn, it's got Henry, I believe. Ugh, I can't remember. Is it Henry? No, I don't think it's Henry. I'm drawing a blank now. And this guy here. So there's, I'm forgetting their 2 names now. But essentially, it's got all 4 of the core game heroes in the top of this cup, this crazy cup, and it's fairly big. Has the FTZ on the bottom. Actually, I'm pretty sure all the figures that come in the game have that as a stamp. So pretty cool. But yeah, you can see size-wise, fairly large. So if you want to determine who's the first player, this is a lot easier than the way I'm doing it with that first player marker in my showcase where I'm using just a green token. This is a lot easier to see and also just really thematic and cool. I really like the idea that all the guys are up top on the cup. That's pretty cool. So you're going to get one of those inside this stretch goal box. And again, the majority of the rest of this stuff, so everything from over here to here and all the way around, the rest is all monsters, all different types of monsters, and you get a couple of each. Of course, with those monsters are going to come cards as well. So what we could do really quickly is I could see if I can find a way to just separate the monsters out so we can get an idea of what they look like. So, all right, so here we go. So here is the monster card pile, essentially. So this is called a Thorn Skulk. So this is a minion here. It looks like he's made mainly out of wood, and he has an armor of thorns. So he's going to be, from my guess, just based on the miniatures here, I don't want to make a mistake, he would be this guy here. This would be the Thorn Skulk. So that's pretty cool. So you got one of him, or sorry, I should say 2 of him. I'm not going to probably bother counting every single one because I'll probably miss them, and then you guys will be sad if you don't get it. But the Marrow Fetch, that's another one. It looks a little bit smaller. No, he's got antlers, so it's this guy here. I'll try to count these out. This one looks like it's got 4, if I'm not mistaken. So the Marrow Fetch, he's a really attractive looking individual. Kind of looks like Rudolph had a really bad Christmas, essentially. That's kind of what it reminds me of. Then the Maggot Hound, which is absolutely disgusting, even just saying that. The Hound looks like it's got maggots. Now, I don't know if you guys know much about the backstory of Fireteam Zero, but there's these worms and maggots and stuff like that that infect these, essentially these creatures, and that's what's really controlling them behind the scenes. And typically in the game they're called, or at least in the storybooks, they're called bait bags, essentially, but that's usually when it has to do with a corrupted human. So in this case, it's a Maggot Hound, so the hound's been infected, and that's how it was infected, I'm assuming. So you'll see the Maggot Hound has not only maggots kind of coming out of his mouth, but his arm's corrupted into or actually he's grown a tentacle arm there. And the backside of him is a little bit exploded in there from all the corruption. So that's him. You get 1, 2, 3, 4 of those to add in. Then you see here underneath is the vermin. You get a wonderful vermin as a minion, and it's a horrifying swarm apparently. So any location containing a vermin is considered difficult terrain. Oh wow! So that thematically makes sense. If you've got an absolute pile of swarm of vermins, you are not going to be moving through that very easily. So you get 4 of those. They kind of looks like a corpse pile, but it's not. If you look really closely, it's just a whole bunch of these little vermins kind of all coming out of this debris, basically, and they're all corrupted and stuff like that. There's 4 of them in the back there. Next up is the Splinter Fiend. So this guy here, he looks pretty cool. I actually like the look of this guy. Now he is an elite character, so I think this might be the first elite. The rest of these ones we pulled so far, yes, they were all minions. Now we're going to the elite, so there should only be 1 of these each. These are really going to add a lot of gameplay to your game. This guy's really cool. Kind of looks like an Ent from Lord of the Rings, but on a much smaller scale. But very, very cool miniature. I like the look of this guy. I'm going to see if I can get this to focus in. And there we go. So you can kind of see a little bit of the detail there. Very cool. It kind of looks like he's looking for a hug, but I doubt that's what he's going to do for you. And then the next one here is the Exhumed Fetch. So this guy looks like just definitely a human at one point, but absolutely corrupted. to the 9s now, and it looks like this would be him here. Now it's getting tough here. I might make some mistakes in which ones I grab because some of them, this one looks correct. So he's got the little arm off the top, the other arm. He's got multiple arms, but you can see he's got a really confusing body structure. So it looks like his body has been deformed quite badly. There's even arms inside of arms here. It's really quite nasty, but again, this is an elite, so this is one of the really tougher guys that's going to show up and really cause you some grief. I think painting these would be a lot of fun. So for somebody who's interested in painting, this would be fantastic. The Lunger, another elite. Where is the Lunger? He's over here. Okay, so this Lunger guy here, he's got quite the interesting look to him as well. So he's obviously going to be coming at you pretty fast. He says if a hero ends their turn within range 1 of a Lunger, it moves immediately to their location and inflicts 1 unblockable damage. Ouch. What did the last guy do? A hero must discard 2 cards before moving into an exhumed fetch's location. Wow, so some of these are really harsh. Like, that guy's obviously on fire, so he's going to hurt you when you move in. This guy's trying to grab you and pull you in and hurt you. These elite guys are not to be messed with. Mangled, here's another one. So Mangled's actually right here, so that's nice and easy. The Mangled one has a Worm Strike. The Mangled makes 1 brawl, range 1 attack. As soon as it activates, then moves and attacks normally. So basically, it just has another extra effect that happens before it activates. And of course, that's never good. So that's the Mangled guy, and he absolutely is. His foot looks like a giant, I don't even know what that looks like. It looks like it's a tentacle or something. It could be wrapped, I'm not too sure. He's got an explosion happening out of his face there of the worms. It's just nasty. So and that's another thing that they reference, these things that have corrupted the humans and changed them into these types of monsters. Not all of them, because some of these are not. Well, some of them are humans that have been corrupted or soldiers that have been corrupted, but it's worms really that have gotten inside of them. This one here, this is a perfect example of that. A corrupted soldier. You can see here he's got kind of like, it looks like alien riding on his back essentially, but he's basically, he's no longer, or essentially this is he's using him as a host. He has defensive maneuvers. A corrupted soldier cannot be killed by a tactical response. Okay, interesting. So this guy here would be right here. There's only one of them. Actually, no, there's 2 of those guys. Ooh, I don't want to see those in the game. So that's actually surprising. There's 2 of them. So it's, I guess it's, you could potentially have 2 of them show up. There, he is not. He's not doing so good. He's not doing so good with that, with something like that on his back. So there you go. That is essentially the rundown of the different miniatures in the game. So that covers the miniatures, whether it could be on the good side or evil side. And of course, there's this huge deck of cards. Now, I haven't actually gone through this to figure out what's what, but it looks like they're going to add a bunch of cards per class. So essentially, you've got what I'm seeing here is 4 demolition cards. So my guess is that every single one will have some additions essentially to their particular class. So marksman gets 4, close combat will get 4, and then leader will get 4. And I wonder what happens after that. I wonder how many more there are. Leader gets 4. Oh, there's some more demolition. So I'm not too sure if these go straight in or it's based on which monsters you play in. So that's really interesting. But it looks like they're giving you a lot more cards to deck build with, or not really deck build, but essentially in a way as you play through the campaign, your deck is currently, it will upgrade. So these are giving you some very interesting cards. Close combat again. So that's really cool. You're going to get a lot of different stuff for your hand, which is huge because that's really where the bulk of the gameplay comes from, is the cards in your hand and their abilities. So this is really going to be a nice addition for somebody when they pick up, or I should say when they win this giveaway. So that's about it. I think that runs the entire thing. So again, I wish you guys all the best of luck in this giveaway. I hope this is something that's really exciting, something that you're looking forward to. If you happen to already own this game, then it's up to you as to whether or not you want to enter the giveaway. You could always enter it and then let me know later, and I could always re-pick somebody else if someone happens to win that already owns the game. And we can also make things work in terms of the stretch goals and things like that. So as of right now, this giveaway is for the core game and the stretch goal pack, and in about 3 weeks time from the recording, or the release I should say, of this video, we'll be doing a draw which will probably land us very close to Christmas because we're creeping up on December 1st here. So hopefully this video was informative. Hopefully you guys are just as excited as I am to give this away, and I wish you guys all the best of luck. So make sure you get your entries in, and as always, keep on rolling solo.